Hey, what is up Within Reach Nation? Gonna give you guys a little walk-in video here. I actually genuinely enjoy doing these types of videos more than the whiteboard videos. That's not true, I like them both, but I like these ones. They're a little more personal. But I want to talk about the topic today is how we can go out and enjoy meals in social settings and not have to stress so much about tracking them. And this is something that a lot of people struggle with, right? And I know a lot of people have anxiety. They're like, oh my God, what do I do if my friends last minute want to go out and go out to eat, but I've eaten my macros for the day and all this shit. So first of all, I can't think of very many true scenarios where like it's 10 p.m. and your friend randomly calls you and is like, dude, Red Robin, let's go. Usually there's always a plan ahead, especially if it's multiple people. But at the same time, sometimes spontaneous things do happen in life. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about when we have macros left for the day and we're going out to eat and then we're stressing about it. Now, this is super simplistic, guys. I'm a planner. You should be a planner too. Just plan ahead. Hey, what are we doing this weekend? Are we doing anything this weekend? Hey, why don't we go to the movies and then I'll go out to dinner afterwards? Great. Saturday? Perfect. Where are we going to dinner? People love making plans. Be that friend who makes the plans because it helps you better adhere to your diet and you can still enjoy social settings. Now, before I really break down to how I do this, I think it's important to talk about our mentality around food and social settings, man. This is something that I see everybody just do so wrong. It is not, there's a little lawnmower guy up here, so I'm gonna turn around. It is not about eating as much food as you possibly can to have a good time. That's bullshit, and you guys know it. I can't tell you how many people I've had come to me being like, oh man, every time I go out on the weekends, I blow my progress because I want to enjoy myself. But, I eat so much food because I want to be present in the moment. I'm like, you're not present in the moment. You're present in your fucking meal. We focus too much on, oh, well, I'm out with people, so therefore, burger, fries, and a shake it is because, hey, I want to live a balanced lifestyle. That's not a balanced lifestyle. That's why America has an obesity epidemic, man. You guys realize we're the only culture, the only country in the world that eats the immense portion sizes that we do. We're actually a joke to pretty much every other country on the planet. Fun fact, we're a joke in terms of our health. We have the highest obesity population ever, and it's because of our lifestyle, right? Everything, the portions are huge, the calories are huge, everything's deep fried. That's not a balanced life. That's a life that's pushing you closer to death because you're just putting so much unhealthy shit in your bodies. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a burger, a shake, and fries, but I'm saying we do this every single week, and you wonder why we can't lose any weight. Fellas, you wonder why you got lower abdomen fat. Ladies, you wonder why you can't fit in your pants and your digestion's always messed up. This is why. So let's look at it like this. Tonight's a great example. I'm taking Allie on a date. We're going to a nice little steakhouse. It was the first place we ever went on a date. It's called Fleming's Steakhouse. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's really good. But I know for a fact that when I go there, they have amazing steak, duh. They have insane mashed potatoes. Like, oh my, fucking incredible mashed potatoes. And then I usually get asparagus with my steak. And then we might split like a small piece of cheesecake, for dessert. Split it. Because I don't need to cram a full cheesecake in my face to enjoy time with my lady on a date in a social setting, right? So what I'm gonna do for today, I typically have steak in my daily diet anyways. So I'm just not gonna eat my steak for today. Boom, I'll eat it at dinner. As far as mashed potatoes go and the cheesecake go, I know those are both higher in carb and higher in fat. So for me, I just say, okay, probably gonna shave off about 100 carb and about 20 grams of fat for my day-to-day. And that's gonna be what I use to go and enjoy my steak dinner. So there was no math, there was no crazy equation. I just said, I know what I'm eating tonight. I know that it's really high in this, so I'm gonna cut those out for the rest of the day probably, just so that I can kind of have that leisure room to play with. I don't have to feel guilty. I don't have to starve myself. I don't have to do a shit ton of cardio tomorrow. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I'm gonna go guilt-free and I'm gonna have a steak with some nice mashed potatoes, and I'm gonna eat some cheesecake. I might even have a glass of Prosecco if I'm feeling fucking wild. Because here's the thing, is going out and having one contextual meal like that, you guys, once a week is way easier to manage and come back from than going out once a week and blowing everything because you think that's what you have to do when you're in social settings. So for me, it's really simple, right? If I want to go out and get ice cream, I'm gonna just prioritize a ton of protein, a ton of vegetables, get my digestion in the best place possible, and then I'll save carbs and fat for ice cream. If I'm gonna go have a massive steak, I don't need to eat as much protein or fat for the day because that's gonna be made up for in that steak. You see what I'm saying? It's maintainable, it's sustainable, and we don't have to feel guilty and blow off the handlebars. But the bigger thing, you guys, if you want success in this, is retraining your mind around social settings. Remember, you're there to enjoy people. Food is there as a byproduct of that. People are the reason you're out, and you're using food to get together. Food is not the reason you're out. You're not using people to get to it. Remember that. And we got this. Super simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate things. I want everybody to start doing one free meal like this per week, mandatory, even if you're in a fat loss phase or a bulking phase. I want everybody going out once a week from here on out and having one untracked meal per day, per week. But again, you can still track things in your head. You can start learning, you can start seeing stuff. You can start saying, hey, I know that like fries are a trigger for me, so I'm not gonna order fries. Right? Or maybe I'll order a small side of fries, but I'm gonna eat all my protein first before I go to my fries, and then I know that I'm done after that, right? There's so many different ways we can tweak it, but there's only one way to get better at it, is by doing it constantly and correctly. So, one free meal per week for everybody here under these guidelines.